What is up, guys? Welcome back to S3M2 Football and welcome to today's football preview video. For this weekend, our action takes us to Italy for a bumper fixture taking place in the Italian Serie A. So please join me as I talk just a little bit about the fixture taking place this Saturday on the 18th of January at the Allianz Stadium in Turin that sees Juventus host AC Milan. We start off our team analysis here with the home side being the Bianconeri. Now, the last five fixtures for Juventus have ended in one win, three draws, and then one loss. Juve's last match was a 1-1 draw against Atalanta that they really had to fight for. And in their last five fixtures, Juventus have scored 7 goals, but they've also conceded 7 goals as well. The first player that I'd like to talk about for Juventus is a man who I think will be leading the line in Serbian centre forward Dusan Vlahovic. In 23 appearances, he has scored 12 goals and managed to pick up 2 assists. But in Vlahovic, I think Juve have a typical target man, a player who plays up front on his own, holds onto the ball, and tries to take shots whenever he can. But for me, Vlahovic is also very direct. If Juve are looking to play on the counter, they know they can give him the ball and he's going to go straight to the opposition goal and try to take a shot or two. Next up, I want to talk about Portuguese right winger Francisco Conceição. In 19 appearances, he has 3 goals and 5 assists. And for me, Conceição is so quick. He's a player who's got great ball control and he's very good in those 1v1 situations. He likes to go out and deliver crosses in, but he's equally efficient at cutting in and taking shots as well. And finally, I want to talk about Italian centre-back Federico Gatti. In 25 appearances, Gatti has just 1 goal. But for me, as a centre-back, Gatti seems to be very box-to-box. He enjoys pushing up to support the attack, and he is very physical, both when he's doing some defensive work or when he's running up front with the ball at his feet and just taking players on. Tactically, for Juventus, I think coach Thiago Motta is going to look to get his team to play a more possession style of football. But Juventus have proven that they are more than capable of playing on the counter-attack if the situation arises as well. Thiago Motta will have to set his team up without centre-back Bremer, who's been a major loss for them in the heart of their defense. But I think he's still going to line this team up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Juve like to push up in numbers, and then you'll see from the midfield players like McKennie and Thuram just providing so much energy in the middle of the pitch. These players run and they just never seem to get tired. Partnering either one of them in the midfield will probably see Manuel Locatelli, who's just looking to inject a bit of patience with his tackling and his distribution, trying to operate as a deep line playmaker, if you will. Creatively, the idea at Juventus is to give the ball to the wingers, let them run out wide, let them stretch the opposition, and then let them cut the ball back into the box for a player who's arriving late. It could be the centre forward, the centre mid, or at times even one of the centre backs. Okay, on to the away team. Now, for the Rossoneri, the last 5 fixtures for AC Milan have ended in 3 wins and 2 draws. Milan's last match was a 2-1 win away at Como in the Serie A earlier this week. And in their last 5 games, the Rossoneri have scored 9 goals and conceded 6 goals. For AC Milan, the first player that I got to talk about is a player who I think will be looking to inject a bit of creativity out wide. In Portuguese left winger Rafael Leao. He has scored 7 goals and provided 7 assists in 25 appearances. But for me, Leao is just such a good dribbler. He's so quick, so precise, so productive with his dribbling. It's not just meant to waste time. He's always thinking of how either he can get in on goal and take a shot, or he can play somebody else in on goal so that they can get the goal instead. But with Leao, there's always something happening, and it's always happening at breakneck speed. Next up, I want to talk about American central midfielder Yunus Musa. In 21 appearances, he has just 2 assists, but I think Musa has a real thankless job. He's a box-to-box midfielder who's constantly running for his team, constantly providing energy, moving the ball, winning it back, but he doesn't get goals and he doesn't really get assists. And that's why people tend to forget about Musa in the heart of this midfield. But for me, he's the rock on which AC Milan have built their midfield. He's the stability in the center. And speaking of stability, the last player I'd like to talk about for Milan has got to be French goalkeeper Mike Maignan. In 27 appearances, he has conceded 30 goals, but he has kept 8 clean sheets. Now for me, Mike Maignan is still one of the best goalkeepers in the world, but he has struggled quite a bit with AC Milan this season. Nevertheless, he's a goalkeeper with great reflexes, he's very solid and stable in between the sticks, and he's very reliable. Mike Maignan is the type of goalkeeper who tends to stay clear of howlers, and I think that's why his entire team knows that they can trust him in the box. Tactically for AC Milan, I think new coach Sergio Conceição is going to look to get this team to attack on the counter-attack. AC Milan have some very quick and very tricky players out wide, and he would be foolish to not take advantage of them. However, this team does seem to be a bit fragile in the center, and they are missing some key elements out wide. Players like Okafor at left wing and Chukwueze at right wing mean this team is now stretched a little thin in those wide positions. Nevertheless, I think we will see this team line up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. This is a bit of a change from the usual 4-3-3, but I think this is to sort of introduce some stability into the heart of the midfield for Milan. I think what it also does is it allows a player like Gianni Reinders to then operate as that number 10 in that playmaker role. He then has the license to either distribute the ball out wide or up front, or even take shots on his own if he sees an opportunity. Milan do have tons of pace out wide, so I do expect to see the left back in Theo Hernandez and the right back in Emerson Royal looking to play these long diagonal balls. We will then see the wingers looking to get to those balls as soon as possible and just set all sorts of chaos amongst the Juve defense. Okay, on to the head-to-head and the S3M2 Verdict. Now, the last 5 fixtures between Juventus and AC Milan have ended in 1 win for Juve, 2 wins for Milan, and then 2 draws to separate the two sides. So it does look like it does favor Milan ever so slightly. In terms of goal output in these last 5 matches, Juve have scored 2 goals, while AC Milan have scored 3 goals. So again, it does seem like it does favor Milan ever so slightly. Looking at the Serie A table though, it does tell a bit of a different story. Juventus are 5th with 34 points, while Milan are 7th with 31 points. So just 3 points separating the two teams, and obviously a win for Milan here definitely heaps tons of pressure onto Juventus. However, since Conceição has joined AC Milan, he is unbeaten and the team as a whole have not tasted defeat. It has been 3 wins and 1 draw in their last 4 matches for Milan, and I think Conceição can be looked at because I think he has given this team a lot more confidence. I think also knowing that these results weren't against small teams, they were wins against Juventus and Inter in the Supercoppa, and those wins saw Milan then become Supercoppa champions, and already knowing that they've lifted some silverware is a massive boost to everybody in this team. I think what Sergio Conceição has really provided for all of these players is that fire, that hunger, that desire and determination, but most importantly, it's that fighting spirit. We've seen Milan go a goal or 2 down, and they fought back from those positions to get respectable results. I think when we look at Juve though, it's a bit of the opposite story. Juve are unbeaten in Serie A, and that sounds like a real achievement, but then we look at it and instead it's because they've been drawing so many matches. Juve actually have 13 draws in the Serie A this season, and I think it's now created a bit of a reputation for them as a specialist in drawing. They were beaten twice this season, once in the Champions League against Stuttgart, and then once against AC Milan in the Supercoppa semi-final. So I think for Juve, they're looking for a bit of payback here. And I think they're thinking that in the Serie A, this is definitely a competition where they've been a little bit better than Milan, so they come into this one with a bit more confidence. But I think for Juve also, a lack of form and lack of desire to be getting goals up front has really hurt this team. You could say that Dusan Vlahovic is the target man because he is the center forward, but he hasn't been getting goals like he should. And it's resulted in a situation where everybody at Juventus is now kind of afraid to take shots. And I think it's really damaged any title ambitions that this team has had for the season. My score prediction for this one is going to be Juventus 2, AC Milan 2. I think both sides obviously do get goals, but I think with Milan, we'll see those goals coming from open play, catching somebody napping for Juve at the back. But for Juventus, I think they'll probably come from set pieces or a mistake from Milan's defense. But I don't particularly see anybody at Juventus creating something truly special. They do have the players like Yildiz, Conceição, Mbangula, McKennie, and Thuram can all create something out of nothing. But I think right now, Juventus's players are really struggling with confidence. And as a result, we're not seeing these players take those chances or even try to create those opportunities. Whereas with Milan, everybody's feeling good. Everybody wants to take shots. Everybody wants to be part of this new system under Sergio Conceição.
Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time and the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button. So you know exactly what to do. Thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.